Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share something different with you guys because it's summer and I know that people tend to travel in the summer, so I wanted to share some souvenirs that I got a while back from some of my travels to Europe. Specifically, I went to Paris and then Amsterdam, or the Netherlands, and I got these souvenirs, and I've been wanting to share them for a while, but just haven't found the right time. But I thought today I would share them with you guys, so just in time for summer, so in case you guys are traveling there or are making any travel plans, hopefully this can be helpful, and if not, you guys can kind of find this interesting. So I'll start with Paris. This was my second time in Paris, so I actually didn't get too many souvenirs, but I did get a Louis Vuitton bag for my mother. So I don't know if you guys know, but when you go to Europe, the luxury goods that are from that country, so France has a lot of the luxury good brands, including LV, I think Chanel is one of them, but yeah, they have lots of luxury brands, and I had talked about getting one for my mother, and specifically she wanted one called the Odeon, and so I was able to get that for her. And so this is what that looks like. It's really pretty. This is the Odeon, and this is a medium petite bag. And so she wanted one that was smaller than kind of her bigger bag that she takes around, and so she wanted actually the smaller size. They have one that's bigger, but this is their smaller size. And it was actually, and it's a crossbody bag actually. This is the style, so the strap is fairly wide, and it is a crossbody style, but you can kind of adjust here with some of the buttons. And it's a really unique kind of style. I think it's not one of their more classic styles. Like, I think they're more known for the Alma or the Never Full, but this is like really suitable for my mother's style, and we specifically wanted to get her this one. And it was actually quite difficult to find because it was sold out in a lot of their boutiques. So I was searching online for quite some time, and then to get into the shops where they actually carry this, I had to wait over an hour, which I think is actually, on average, it's like an hour, or it's actually maybe less than what normally people wait for, but I think you can expect to wait an hour. So I waited an hour to go into the store, and then it was another hour for anyone to even come and take care of me. So it was maybe a total of 2.5 hours of waiting, and this is after I had to kind of search for where the inventory was and like go to different stores across town, because at first I showed up to Lafayette, which is the very touristy mall, and they actually didn't carry this style, so I had to go to like a different location to get this bag. So it really depends on what bag you want and what inventory they carry. And then after I got there, I waited like another 2.5 hours before I was serviced. But once I was serviced, the service was actually very top notch, and yeah, it was a really good experience. I feel like they really make you feel comfortable, and very much a white glove service. So it was definitely a good experience. But if you guys are interested in getting any sorts of bags that are maybe more in demand, I would suggest planning ahead and just kind of knowing which one you want, and then you can maybe be flexible if the inventory is short, because I know most luxury bags are kind of, I don't know, like in short supply right now. I was able to find Chanel pretty easily, like the classic Chanel bag, but I know that it went up in price. Another tip is to actually try on the purses. So while I was in the stores, I tried on a couple for myself, and some styles I thought that I wasn't going to like, but it actually was really nice. So this is the one that I got my mother, and it's pretty basic. I like the little tag up here, and this style is actually not in a line or anything. This dark monogram with the black corners. So when I looked online, they only had this darker monogram with maybe lighter leather in the corners, or different combinations. That was not this one. So when I saw this in person, I thought my mother would really like this color combo, and so I bought it right away. So this is probably one of the only things I bought from Europe or from Paris, because it is not my first time there. So it's pretty decently sized, and there's double zippers here, and you just open them like this, and then on the zipper it says Louis Vuitton Paris, and I think there's kind of some labels, and actually there's not really much in here. I don't see any labels in here, but I did get it from a Louis Vuitton store. So that's what that looks like. And then there's a little opening here as well, and it's magnetic, but I actually really think it's a cute purse. It was a little bit dented like when they took it out, but the store clerk said it's supposed to be like that, and like once you kind of wear it, it's not going to be like that. And this was the only one that they had in the store left in this style, so a lot of FOMO kicked in and I just bought it. But yeah, it was such a journey to get this bag. So yeah, but it's also an experience, like getting serviced and things like that. So that's my first souvenir. And I actually didn't buy much else from Paris. I got one other thing, which was from Ladurée. This is from Ladurée Paris. I just thought this tote bag was so cute and like a good shopping bag, and I kind of needed something to carry my stuff around in Paris, and I bought this, and you know, I thought I could use it in the States when I come back. And it'll remind me of Paris, but it has like all these cute little macaroons in the different flavors that they have. So this one says cafe, coffee, praline. This one is a French word. This one's rose, pistachio in the green, and this one is framboise. I think that's also French. And then there's a little tag here. Yeah, so I did get this from Ladurée. I also got I got a sugar butter spread from Ladurée at the airport as like a last minute souvenir to give as a gift, but I've given that away. And I also got some bonbons. So Paris has a lot of these boutique stores with little bonbons and chocolates, and they're all like gourmet bonbons. And there was this one place called, I think it's called Jackie's or Jackie's, and they were like the best bonbons I've ever had. They were so smooth but rich, and they were kind of chewy but also melted in your mouth. So it was like a perfect balance of sweet and chewy and like richness. so I don't know how to describe them. So I got those in Paris, and I just finished all of those while I was on the trip. But yeah, other than the Louis Vuitton bag and like a couple things at the airport from Ladurée, because I just love their packaging and how cute they are, I really didn't get much in Paris. And while there, I was trying to visit the Opera House because it's one of the most opulent opera houses in all of Europe. I think it is like the most opulent. Unfortunately, I tried going 3 times and I kept missing like the hours, so I didn't go. But I also went to the Contemporary Art Museum, and that was actually really nice, so I would recommend that. Yeah, but other than that, it was very much a food-focused trip in Paris because they're so known for, you know, their pastries and their chocolate and the cooking and restaurants. So we tried eating out quite a bit, and then we were also, you know, trying all the bakeries. I think they're called boulangeries, or yeah, I don't know, like the bread and the bakeries like eclairs are really popular. And the bonbons, I really love the bonbons. So yeah, so it was a good trip, and it was very much food focused, so I didn't really bring, you know, that much physical souvenirs back. So after Paris, I actually went to Amsterdam as well. So Amsterdam is in the Netherlands, and I've actually never been there before. So it was my first time in Amsterdam, and I think because it was my first time, I got a lot more souvenirs, as you guys will see. So I'll kind of go over them with you. The first one I want to share is I went to, they're known, like the Netherlands is known for tulips. So this is a little pamphlet that I got at the Amsterdam Tulip Museum. So their Amsterdam in the Netherlands is probably best known for like their tulips. I'm sure you guys have seen all of the pictures with the tulip fields. So I actually went during off season, so they weren't blossoming at the time that I went. And so I went in November, and it was getting like really cold, and it was basically winter in Europe. And I went because my friend was going on a work trip, and so she invited me to come along. And so it was just like a really easy and convenient trip to take. But I knew that they were known for tulips, and I've never seen them before, so I actually saw the shop while walking around in Amsterdam, and I went into the Amsterdam Tulip Museum, and it's basically like a normal shop, but they have a little tiny museum at the bottom, like in the basement. So you take like these stairs down, and then you can do a little like history of tulips. And this is the pamphlet that comes with that museum. So it's quite a cute museum, and it gave a really nice overview of tulips. So here's a little map actually of the museum. You can kind of see the order that it was going into. And this is a lot of fun to just like learn about tulips, but tulips kind of in the wild. It talks about tulip origin. So I think tulips actually originated from Nepal or somewhere like really cold and up in the mountains around the Himalayas in Central Asia. So they actually originated from Asia, but because they had the Netherlands used to be the center of trade, they used to be really powerful, which is like really interesting. I'm sure you guys have heard of the Dutch Empire, so that was the Netherlands. They traded quite a bit with India, and so I think it was India who first brought tulips to the Netherlands, and then it just became really popular. And so tulips in Holland. And so this was confusing for me because sometimes people would say Netherlands and then sometimes people would say Holland, and I had to Google it. I think Holland is a small part of Netherlands. Like Netherlands is the whole country, and then Holland is a small part of the Netherlands. yeah, so anyway, they became popular in the Netherlands, and then this is like tulip mania, and there's a whole section in the museum talking about how people were speculating on tulips, and how like one single tulip, I think this was like the most expensive tulip that ever sold for the price of a house. And then there's a comic about comparing it to crypto. And then it crashed, so then they were talking about commercial production and how it became a lot cheaper to mass produce them. And now they are what they are today, which is kind of like a normal flower. But it's still a big industry, and so, especially for the Netherlands, they still cultivate it. And yeah, it's just a really interesting and cute museum. It's only €5, I think, to go in. So if you guys are going like off season and don't get to see them like I do, I would recommend going there. And I actually, from this museum, I bought a bag, or actually a couple bags of tulip bulbs, so that I can garden them when I get back to the States. And I actually did plant them, and they actually blossomed really well. But yeah, they were certified to come back into the US, or they were certified for the US, because you have to make sure that they don't disrupt the ecology or the ecosystems back to wherever your country may be. So you have to make sure that they're certified and they can pass customs. They're custom certified. And then I planted them, and so the lady told me to plant them because like in the winter, because they like the cold, and then it blossoms in the spring. So that was really fun to watch them kind of grow, although I think they don't last that long, as far as like, I think they lasted for 2 to 3 weeks max, or like maybe a month. So but it was still really cool. So that was one of my favorite souvenirs, I would say. Another favorite is, if you guys ever go to Amsterdam, there is this bakery called Van Steeple, and I got this little like cookie jar from them. This was only €6, and it's so cute. So Van Steeple is one of their oldest and most famous bakeries, and all they sell are these chocolate chip cookies that are dark chocolate cookie with white chocolate chips. And they're so good. They're like freshly made, and then you can get them in a box, in a dozen or half a dozen, or just one cookie. And all they do is make these cookies, and they're just like an institution and an establishment. And you can also get one of these souvenirs from them for really cheap. And so I was like, this looks so cute and so useful, so let me get one. And yeah, this is what it's like, aluminum, and it's light in your luggage. And I actually put stuff, like when I was carrying this back in my luggage, inside the box to get it back. And now we actually kind of like use this, isn't it cute, as we put like tea bags in here as a tea bag holder. Isn't that cute? And I actually have some teas in here, I think I bought from the Netherlands. And this is like, this one is called Moroccan Mint. This is tea by Verdi, and I think they're a European brand, because I actually couldn't find them online in the States, but their tea is really good. So this one is Moroccan Mint. You can crinkle a little bit. And then this one is Herbal Mix. This one is just orange. And my favorite is Rooibos. Rooibos? I'm not sure how to say this word actually. So yeah, it's just a really cute and useful souvenir. We don't usually eat cookies that much, but you can certainly use this as a cookie jar as it's intended. So yeah, if you're in Amsterdam, definitely recommend checking out this cookie shop, this bakery, Van Steeple. It is very famous. You'll definitely hear people talking about it. Also in Amsterdam, I have a recommendation. This is another souvenir that I really liked. So I actually got this magnet for free because we ate at this restaurant, and I have no idea how to say this. It's more in like Dutch, I want to say, but they've been an establishment since 1627, and they actually have this is in the heart of Amsterdam. And let me read this to you guys. It says, an iconic and authentic ambience, a true culinary museum where you can dine underneath 4 original works of art of the famous Rembrandt. So they actually have like 4 original pictures of Rembrandt, and Rembrandt is really famous. And there's also another museum with a lot of his art in it, but they're a restaurant and you can just eat under these works of art, and the actual restaurant itself it's like the closest thing I've come to Hogwarts. Like, it really looks like an old like European castle vibe kind of feeling. It's just so cool. I really recommend you guys going there. And they do have like a la carte things you can order, but you can get a prefix or pre-fee menu. I got a 3-course meal plus wine pairings for 60 euros. So that was like super good, and the food was delicious. The ambiance is unbeatable. And then they gave me this little souvenir at the end. So this is definitely one of my top recommendations if you guys do go to Amsterdam, and would recommend you guys checking out this restaurant. So this is really a favorite souvenir of mine because it brings me back to the restaurant and reminds me of, you know, how good it is. It's not like Michelin or anything, but I feel like it's one of my favorite like dining experiences ever. So I would definitely recommend you guys checking out this place. So if you need a moment to kind of calm it down, it's kind of a difficult word, but yeah, I really enjoyed this place. So yeah, a souvenir that I don't think I would have gotten in hindsight is I got this little spoon from the Palace in Amsterdam. So Amsterdam is the capital of Netherlands, and they have a palace in Amsterdam, but it's actually rather small. So I think there was a reason for it, because it was like a town hall before, but they converted it to like a palace or something. I kind of forget, but it's not a super impressive palace, but it was still kind of like the only palace, I would say, in the Netherlands, or like the biggest palace in the Netherlands. So I wanted to get a souvenir, and I like to drink tea and things, so I got a little teaspoon. So this is what a little teaspoon. So this is what it looks like. And it has the architecture of the palace on top. What does that say? It says Palace Amsterdam. Yeah, so it says Palace Amsterdam. And that's actually what the palace looks like. But you can kind of see, I used this only a couple times. It used to be bright like silver. It was only 10 euros, so I can't really complain, but it's already turned yellow and it's like rusting. And it's actually a really small teaspoon when I used it for tea. So would not recommend getting this one. I was really excited to use it for like all of my tea needs, but it has already rusted. So yeah, but that's still like a fun thing to have. So aside from Amsterdam, we also went to Rotterdam. And Rotterdam, I would say Amsterdam, so the architecture in Amsterdam, they all look like this. And all of these buildings are kind of historical, right? So they're really narrow, and it has like historical context in terms of why they're built this way. I think because maybe land was like expensive back then, so then they would build like really narrow houses. I forget, but they all look like this, and they are all protected as a UNESCO like World Heritage Site. So nobody can touch like the Amsterdam architecture, so they all have to look like this in the front. So that's why when you go, it's like really picturesque and historical. But I would say Amsterdam feels like a really traditional town in terms of the architecture and things like that. And then when we went to Rotterdam, it definitely felt like a more modern city. And so one of the museums we went to had this famous painting. It's the girl with the pearl. And I'm sure you guys have seen this one. I think it's, pretty famous along with Mona Lisa. Maybe not as famous as Mona Lisa, but it is a really famous painting. It's actually one of my favorites. I find her really like interesting to look at. And actually this girl is not a real model, so the painter actually created, I think, was either creating a new genre of painting, or he followed like an emerging trend of just painting people that did not exist. And so this is the girl with the pearl painting, and she has the pearl there, but I think it's like, so there's something about this photo that I forget. Maybe it's like very angelic or realistic, or the lighting is very interesting. I think it was the lighting, but I really like the photos. I got this tiny little coin wallet, and I spent a lot of time in this museum. That was also fun to visit, so I would recommend that. There was also a lot of I don't know if you guys know Miffy, but it's this little white rabbit, and I feel like he's super famous, and I just love Miffy. And he's actually called something else in Dutch. It's like this really difficult word. It's Nijinte. So that's his Dutch name, but I know him as Miffy, and I just think he's so cute. And so I got a bunch of souvenirs that kind of had him on there. And so this is a wine stopper that I got. So that's what he looks like. This one is pretty minimalist. He just has the little like X. Oh no, he also has his eyes here. This is a little wine stopper that I got. I find him so cute. And then the back just has some type of branding or labeling. But they sell a lot of his things. So yeah, they sell a lot of his things around Amsterdam and Netherlands in general. And at first I couldn't find anything with him, but then I started seeing a lot of them, and I went I kind of started buying up all of them. So I got that, and then I got this little magnet. I thought it was so cute because it has all the raindrops, and then two Miffys here. So this is just a little magnet, and I thought it was so cute. I actually love rain, so it's like two things I loved, so I couldn't not buy it. I felt like I got that as well. That kind of sounds like raindrops. Another cool thing I got, another one with Miffy on it, is this cool candle. And I was looking at this and it looks so interesting, but look at Miffy, so big, so cute. But I think what happens with this one is that you light this candle here, And then this little Miffy on a bike will spin. I thought that would be so cute to use in the winter. So I got that as well. I need to try it out. There's more Miffy. Another one that I got, because I went in November, there were a lot of like Christmas things. I got this set of 4 Christmas decorations. And I gave them to like 3 other friends because we have like a group of 4. Or sorry, they're like ornaments. This is his Dutch name, and then I just call him Miffy. And then this is the one that I kept, and then I gave the 3 other ones away. So this is like a Miffy ornament. Isn't that cute? So cute, right? So it's like Miffy sitting on a moon. So that was a little Christmas ornament. I also got this like keychain with Miffy on it. And I just liked how heavy it is. And this looks kind of funny, but there's a little tiny rabbit here too. And I just thought this is like kind of a cool artsy way of interpreting his design. So I really like this little keychain. And finally, I got this little mug. Got this mug, and it says Holland with a little Miffy on it. I don't know when I'm gonna use it, but I just thought it was really cute. So yeah, that is like my Miffy haul in the Holland. Finally, I actually visited, I went on like a tour for the different cities outside of Amsterdam, and one of the nearby cities is famous for the windmills, and we actually visited the windmills when it was like pouring rain, but I thought that was kind of cool. I'm not sure. But yeah, in addition to the windmills, we visited like a cheese factory. So Holland actually produces a lot of cheese, and they're especially for the world, like in the world, they're one of the top cheese producers, and they're known for Gouda, and I love truffle, so I actually got this goat truffle cheese, and this is from, yeah, I got this goat truffle cheese. And they have little samples at the cheese factory. They gave a little demo of like how cheese is made, and also they had all these samples out, and this actually tasted really good, and so I got one to kind of come back and eat it, and it's sealed, so I think it's fine to take back, and it stores for like a while. So I got the truffle one because I love truffle. So I thought that was also a fun souvenir. I got a lot of food souvenirs as well. So this was another one we went to. Apparently this is a really famous chocolate brand in Netherlands, and they had like a picture of Obama, like President Obama, visiting their factory, and it seemed like that was like the Dutch chocolate brand, like the go-to brand for chocolate. And I got this one, which is just milk chocolate, but I also got another box which I finished, and they had like little pieces of orange flavoring in milk chocolate, and orange is actually the official color of the Netherlands, and it's like the royal color of the king and queen and things like that. So it looks just like this but orange, so I thought it was funny that they, you know, made a point to incorporate orange in their national chocolate to kind of honor the monarchy and the country, so I thought that was cool. But yeah, this is kind of this is milk chocolate, and just comes out in like a stack of round chocolates. So that's good as well. And I finished all of the stroop waffles actually that I got from the Netherlands, but they sell them like stroop waffles are little thin waffles. There's two thin pieces of caramel that's two thin pieces of waffles that are held together by melted caramel. And so if you go to like a farmer's market in Amsterdam, they make it fresh on the spot. And I think you can add like Nutella, and it's super unhealthy, but they're super good. And you can get them in the States. I think they sell them at like Costco or Trader Joe's, but rarely is it made like fresh. But I actually didn't know that they originated from the Netherlands, but yeah, it's a Netherlands specialty. And I bought some of those back, but I think we ate all of them, so there's that. But the last thing I want to show you guys is also like a food souvenir. So they're known for cheese, and this is a Gouda cheese crisp. A Gouda cheese crisp. So we got these cookies, and I really like this packaging. Like, look how cute that is. This is Roca, the original cheese biscuits. So we actually finished all of the cookies, and inside we have like more tea bags. But they come in these like vacuum sealed bags, and these cookies are like really thin. So that's what it looks like. It's like a really thin biscuit with laces of like Gouda cheese throughout this biscuit. So it's laced with cheese, and they're really thin and crispy. So those were really good, and they tasted very like European and Dutch. So I liked kind of this souvenir as well. Yeah, there are just so many things. I feel like, oh, I also got, you can get customized like Heineken, the beer company, is from the Netherlands. They're actually probably one of the biggest companies that's headquartered in the Netherlands. And Heineken, they have a factory in Amsterdam, and so you can get customized beer bottles from their like Heineken experience, which is an old Heineken factory that turned into like a museum slash touristy experience. And so we actually got like a customized Heineken bottle that says like your initials or your name, or it says like whatever you want on it, for I think like €5 or €6. So there's that as well. But yeah, other than that, I thought it was a really cool trip, and wanted to share, all my experiences and souvenirs with you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.